Today we're looking at the top 15 biggest college football stadiums of all time. Let's jump right into it. At number 15, we have Memorial Stadium. University of Nebraska's football fans might be the most loyal group of fans in any sport. Husker faithful saw every game at Memorial Stadium since 1962, which is amazing considering it has been over a decade since the school was among the nation's elite. Nebraska's current struggles are truly something to behold. They haven't played in a bowl game since 2016, which is also their last winning season. Tough times in Lincoln for sure. At number 14, we have the Clemson Memorial Stadium. Save for the University of Alabama, no college football program has defined college football more than Clemson over the last decade, with 2 national championships in the last 2 years. Death Valley has always been an intimidating place to play, but the origin of the name itself is a matter of dispute for decades. What hasn't changed is its incredibly lit way in which Clemson takes the field before games by running down a hill into the stadium. Although it's an entrance that somehow now centers more on head coach Dabo Swinney running on the field ahead of the team, which is weird. At number 13, we have Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. It's striking to drive through the plains of Oklahoma and see the University of Oklahoma's football stadium in the distance, a true testament to the fervor Sooner fans have for the program. The top 10 games for attendance in stadium history have all occurred within the last 5 years. During that stretch, the Sooners have had 2 Heisman Trophy winners, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. It'll be surreal to see what happens in the next few years when Oklahoma and Big 12 rivals / cohort Texas join the SEC, and the matchups we'll get to see in Norman, Oklahoma versus Alabama with something on the line. Can you imagine? At number 12, we have Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn did a pretty cool thing in 2005 when they officially named the field at Jordan-Hare Stadium for former head coach Pat Dye. And if you've ever watched a college football game at Auburn, you realize how wild things can get there. And on that note, no moment in Jordan-Hare history from now until the end of time will ever compare to what happened on the final play of the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn on November 30th, 2013. Tied 28-28, Alabama came up short on a 57-yard field goal for the win as time expired. The missed kick was fielded by Auburn's Chris Davis at the back of the end zone and returned 109 yards for the game-winning touchdown. At number 11, we have Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. It gets really hot and sticky in the swamp on game days, also known as Ben Hill Griffin Stadium and the home of the University of Florida football team. While Ben Hill Griffin's official capacity is listed 88,548, the stadium routinely holds more than 90,000 people for home games. In fact, the top 15 games at the Swamp in terms of attendance all registered over 90,000 people. In 2016, the field officially changed its name to the Steve Spurrier Florida Field at Ben Griffin Stadium in honor of the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and national championship winning head coach. At number 10, we have the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl, UCLA's home stadium, is much more well known for being the host of the eponymous bowl game. It has also been, in fact, home to a massive amount of mediocre football played by the Bruins since they left the LA Memorial Coliseum in 1982. At one time, UCLA had plans to build an on-campus stadium in the location where the track and field teams now compete at Drake Stadium. But that didn't happen, so they still get to play where a lot of college football history has been made. Here's one strange quirk about UCLA's home field. They travel 26 miles from their campus to play at the Rose Bowl, and just 14 miles to play at the Coliseum for games against their biggest rival, USC. At number 9, we have Sanford Stadium. It's hard not to be romantic about football when you take in a home game at the University of Georgia's Sanford Stadium, where the term "between the hedges" originated because of the lush, privet hedges that surround the playing field. As long as no one gets hurt, there are few fittier things when fans rush the field at Sanford Stadium and the tumble into said hedges. The hedges have only been removed once in the last 9 years, when they were taken out to accommodate soccer during the 1996 Summer Olympics. At number 8, we have the Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're in the midst of the greatest dynasty in college football history, and that's been going down over the last decade, plus the University of Alabama, where head coach Nick Saban has led the Crimson Tide to 6 national championships since 2009. Today, we would never think that Alabama could go anywhere else to play its home games, but from the 1920s to the 1980s, most of Alabama's premier home games were played at Birmingham Legion Field, which had a seating capacity of almost 20,000 more than could see a game in Tuscaloosa. Once Bryant-Denny increased how many people it could hold, Alabama no longer had to leave Tuscaloosa for a home game. At number 7, we have the Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium. The University of Texas is one of the greatest home field advantages in college football history. Since opening its doors in 1924, the Longhorns have got a winning percentage that hovers around 80%. Named in part of after its legendary coach, Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium is in the top 10 stadiums in the entire world as far as seating capacity. Expectations for college football programs don't come much higher than they do at Texas, where the Horns haven't won a national title since 2005, and are set to join the SEC alongside fellow Big 12 standout Oklahoma in the next few years. At number 6, we have Tiger Stadium. Tiger Stadium is a far cry from its humble beginnings, which opened with a seating capacity of just 12,000 in 1924. Legendary Alabama head coach Bear Bryant, who went 14-2 at Tiger Stadium, probably best described the experience of playing there. Baton Rouge happens to be the worst place for a visiting team in the entire world, Bryant said. It's like being inside of a beating drum. Tiger Stadium got one of the coolest moments in its history in 2019 on Senior Day, when Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow came out with his specially made BURREAUX nameplate on the back of his jersey. At number 5, we have Neyland Stadium. Robert Neyland had 3 separate stints as Tennessee's football coach from 1926 to 1952, and is responsible for 4 of the school's 6 national championships. The type of accomplishments that get you a stadium named in your honor. Like Ohio Stadium, Neyland Stadium reduced its capacity by approximately 2,000 seats during a renovation. Longtime college football fans know there was nowhere tougher to get a win than Neyland Stadium in the late 1990s and early 2000s, following the school winning a national championship in 1998. Here's the problem though. Tennessee hasn't won an outright SEC championship since 1998, hasn't won a divisional championship since 2007, and has 6 losing seasons in the last decade. They're also on their 4th head coach in the last decade. At number 4, we have Kyle Field. In the history of the SEC and state of Texas, which is really saying something, the most people to ever go see a football game was in 2014 when Texas A&M hosted Ole Miss at Kyle Field in front of 110,633 people. Kyle Field jumped past the 100,000 capacity mark in a big way that same year when a renovation shot its capacity up over 20,000 people. No fan base would likely be more appreciative of an ascension to the nation's elite than Texas A&M. The Aggies were 50-4-1 at home in the 1990s, including 31 straight wins from 1990 to 1995 and 22 straight wins from 1996 to 2000. For the amount of money they're paying head coach Jimbo Fisher, who has a 10-year, $75 million contract, those type of expectations should be understandable. At number 3, we have Ohio Stadium. Ohio Stadium is generally recognized by its nicknames, the Horseshoe, or just the Shoe if you really know what's up. Ohio State, unlike many of the other schools on the list, had a massive amount of seating from the moment it opened its doors in 1922, with a starting seating capacity of 66,000 people. Ohio Stadium actually underwent a renovation in 2017 that reduced its seating capacity by 2,000, but was done in favor of aesthetics. What a stunning concept it was. At number 2, we have Beaver Stadium. Few spectacles in college football can compare to a whiteout at Penn State's home stadium, the 4th largest stadium in the entire world, with parts of its structure dating back to 1909. One cool quirk about this time leading up to the opening of Beaver Stadium was that in the 1890s, the school's football team just played its games on the old main lawn, the grassy area in front of the school's main building. Since 1972, with Beaver Stadium's capacity around 57,000 people, the school has undertaken 7 expansions to push it to its current capacity, which seems like a lot. And finally, at number 1, we have Michigan Stadium. Stunning in its grandeur, Michigan Stadium is not just the largest in the United States, it's the largest in the entire Western Hemisphere, and the 3rd largest stadium in the entire world. Michigan's 2013 game against Notre Dame set the college football attendance record with 115,000 fans in attendance. The new tradition that we love at the Big House is Michigan fans singing along to the killer song Mr. Brightside, and when they cut out the music for a few bars at the end, the crowd takes over. Wow. Let us know in the comment section down below your favorite stadium on our list. Also, if we missed out on any crazy stadiums, let us know in the comment section down below. Are we missing out on places like Boise State with their blue turf? Well, it is all your opinion. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Tip Top Sports, and ring that notification bell so you never miss any amazing video from us in the future. Once again, thank you for watching and we'll see you all in our next video.